everyone, it's Amy here again. Today is April 24th. It is a bit chilly here where I am in zone 6A. The next 3 days is going to stay on the cooler side. At nighttime we're even dipping down to 0 and below 0, but after that we're expecting some gorgeous weather, so I can't wait for the nice weather to come, because when nice weather comes, the garden and the flowers really starts to take off and bloom. I just want to show you around, give you a little bit update of what's been going on. I've spent some time cleaning up my backyard so it looks a little bit less messy, more of an organized mess now. And also I still have some stuff here growing in the greenhouse, and I got some tulips coming up. So I'll come along, I'll show you around. Okay, so we are in my backyard today. I reorganized most of my pots. As you recalled in my previous video, they were all sort of scattered under here. I've now placed a lot of them in the middle section there. Once again, they are not in their permanent place. They're just out there to put on some growth before I start to reorganize them and put them in their somewhat permanent position. I got some spring bulbs here growing. These are the grape hyacinth or muscari. I love this color. There's a different variety of colors here. This one's deeper purple and this one is lighter, and I also think there's oh yes, there's some white ones here too. So I had totally forgotten to pot these up in the fall, and I think around February, March-ish, I found them in a bag and thought, oh my gosh, I think they may have died in my garage because it was so cold. But I took a chance and potted them anyways and put them in here, and I got 2 of them. So one here and also one here, and to my delight, they actually bloomed and they seem to be doing very well. A little bit leggy, so I don't know if this is like what they're supposed to do. This one's even like a lighter blue than the rest. Really pretty. So they're doing really, really well. And then of course I went to the garden center. Never grown these before. They're supposed to be perennials, spring flowering type of, I guess, low growing type of flowers. I couldn't resist because check out these, check out the color. Is it not just gorgeous? So very pretty. I thought it would go really well with these purple ones here. But yes, they are doing really, really well, even though despite the cold weather we've had. This is a pot of, let me see, is this pansies or violas? One of them. I can't remember. They look very similar in terms of leaves wise, but it should be flowering soon, so I should find out soon. I got here some mini daffodils that I grabbed at Costco. So what I did here was they actually came in a pot packed full of these mini daffodils. So I got one here, and when I got home, I split them and I ended up with 5. So you can see there's 1 here, 2, 3, and then 4, 5. Each of this bunch is only 1 bulb that produced all of these flowers. I had no idea that it produced so many flowers from 1 bulb. So what I plan to do is I'm going to enjoy them in the springtime, let them die back during the summer, and then I'm planning to plant them into my garden, specifically this patch right here. This is the patch I see from my patio door, so I really want some colors early in the spring so I can enjoy it when I look outside. And then these are some painted daisy, if I'm not mistaken, that I grew from seed. It's doing really, really well. I've tested out to put it outside during this kind of like cold spell, and it seems to be holding up pretty nicely. So I'm very happy about that. Ooh, yes, update on my roses. So I think the last time I posted, I had bought, was it 8 or 9? 9 roses. I've added 3 more to my collection, and as you can see, they are now all potted up in their permanent, what is it called? Clay? No, ceramic pots. I should take the wrappings off of this one. But yes, they are now in their permanent pots and they're doing extremely well. Look at all the new growth that's flushing out. I think a lot of people have noted they have found aphids on their roses, and so have I. Quite a bit of them too. These ones not so much, but I have a few other ones in the front that is loaded with aphids. I don't know if I should just leave them alone and let them be or squish them. I've just left them so far. The three new ones I've added, one of which is this one right here. It's a Perfuma Earth Angel. I've never grown this before. It's supposed to be very, very fragrant. And it grows, was it it's in inches or centimeter. I don't think it grows very tall. I gotta double check, and I'll put the dimension or the height on the screen for you to see. But yes, very excited I got this one. And I came across this one I just added too. So it's Savannah Sunbelt. This one I had one, I would say 5-6 years ago, and it died on me. And the reason being was that I had her planted in a pot. And back then I did not know too much about roses and did not take a preventative measure to store them properly. Left them outside to fend for themselves. And of course, I think I lost about 5 that year. So last year I tested out to store them in my garage, and every single one of the roses or the potted roses I had stored in my garage survived and came back. So this is what I'm going to be doing moving forward, is to store them in my garage. This one, the reason I wanted to buy her again is she has such a strong fragrance to her. This one doesn't grow too tall, 3x3, which is perfect for growing in a pot. She is a hybrid tea, and I remember the color being really, really beautiful. So I'm very excited I found her again. And then moving here, the other ones that I mentioned before in my previous video, Perfume Delight, they're all in their permanent pots now. And they've grown quite a bit since my last video, I believe. It's grown like this tall now, this much growth. Amazing. Oh, I just noticed, look, flower buds, yay. These are violas, I believe. I grew those from seeds. Same with these, look how pretty they are. Teeny tiny little flowers, so pretty. So they are flowering. I'm testing this out. So I grew a whole bunch of these Destiny Miller from seeds. They've grown quite a bit, and I think they're somewhat cold hardy. So I've just potted 2 up and left it outside just to test to see how cold hardy it is. And so far, after last night, it was quite windy and the wind was quite chilly, and it seemed to fare pretty good. So I'm happy about that. So more stuff that I grew from seeds. Here's some snapdragons. These are pansies. These ones have not put on any buds yet, but they're growing nicely. So I'm happy about that. Calendula. Some of the calendulas are actually in bloom already or have flower buds on them. I'll show you in a bit. So that's the side of my garden here. It gets afternoon sun, so I think my roses here will be very happy. I will be moving some of these around. They're not going to stay here permanently. Oh, I can't get over how pretty this color is. So pretty. I wonder if the camera can pick up this almost magenta color. So pretty. All right, let's go over here. Here's my messy corner. This is where I work, where I repot stuff, where I store pots that are not currently in bloom. So this is kind of like my workstation area. I don't know if you guys recall, but this used to be a flower box. But the problem is when I designed this, I did not take into account that it gets mostly all shades. And then because I have a gazebo here, when rain comes down, snow comes down, it gets so much water on this in this area that most things here did not grow very well because it would rot. So instead of leaving as flower box, what I did was I converted them into benches using the exact same wood that was used for the box, just converted it into a bench. So now I can display my flowers on there also and not have to worry about what kind of plants I can grow in there, whether they will survive or not. I think this is a much neater look, and I'm very happy how it turned out. More potted flowers here. These are forget-me-nots. They were actually growing in my garden, but I dug them up and put them in pots because I just love the look of potted plants. Just bought 3 of these creeping jennies I'm planning to put into some of my planter. Don't know which one yet, but I'm for sure growing some of those. My holly here survived the winter outside. She literally sat here all winter, and she's doing pretty good. Another small planter I put together here. These are stalks, snapdragons, and some pansies here. None are in bloom yet, but I don't expect them to bloom in April. I just got this set chair, these 3-piece set for the outside. It's supposed to be, this one is supposed to be right here for me to drink my coffee, but right now I've just placed it here for the time being, and truthfully, they kind of turn into my table for plants. I should remove them so I can have my coffee here in the morning. Okay, let's walk over here to my greenhouse. Let's go this way. See how before this was all empty, gravel only? So it's starting to take shape and how it should look like in the summertime. When I place all of my pots in the middle, once everything is in bloom, you will not even really see the gravel below that. Look at all the new growth. Just 2 weeks ago, you can barely see anything coming up. I can't believe this is coming back. This is verbasum, and I planted from seed last year. It didn't really bloom that well for me. Chucked it to the side of my house, and look at it now. It's coming back so nicely. Look at these pretty daffodils. Mini ones, so cute. I usually am not a spring bulb type of person, but this year, for whatever reason, I'm like, no, I need some color early in spring. These are the ones I got from Costco that I divided up. I got 5 bulbs with pretty flowers. Actually, I stopped by Costco today, the exact same store I got these from. For whatever reason, their flowers in their pots are all faded and dead pretty much, but I don't know why these are doing so well. I think because of the fencing that I have around my backyard, maybe perhaps the wind and the cold or the temperature, it's not as bad as where they have their stalks. That would be my best guess. Once again, forget-me-nots. These were growing in my garden that I dug up and placed in to pots. I love displaying these. My greenhouse, I'm slowly taking cold hardy annuals and planting them into the ground, and then moving a lot of the stuff from inside the house and putting them in here now. So I have like a rotation system going on. So yesterday, not sure it was the best time to test this out, but here are the rest of my Dusty Millers that I grew from seed, looking super healthy. Survived yesterday's cold night. I think we dipped down to about either 4 or 5 Celsius, but the wind was pretty chilly, and they're doing fine. These ones have been here for quite a while, the foxgloves seedlings. They're doing fine. And look at these. Oh, too bad I didn't videotape this when these were in full bloom. The color is just gorgeous. So these are Negociana that I grew from seeds, and they are blooming already. Look at this color. Is it not pretty? I'm contemplating if I should seed some more, because I've only grown, how many did I grow? I only have 3 or 4 plants, that's it. Because I've never grown them before, so I didn't want to go crazy with overseeding. But I might do more. Here's another planter I put together myself, all grown from seeds. So I got some stalks in here, alyssum, and nope, this one does not have any pansies, just stalks and alyssums. I can't remember if these are the purple alyssums or the white ones. We shall see when it it blooms. I got 2 of them in here. I think these should be fine if I even take them out of the greenhouse and place them outside. And then here are the feverfew, looking great. I should really pot them up though. They're getting kind of crowded in here, but looking very, very good. Oh, the other plants I've never grown before that I'm really, really happy with is this one right here. Look at the color. This one is a 4 o'clock flower, and it already has a few bloom. I just potted it to a bigger pot because it was kind of struggling. Look at the yellow leaves. I think because it outgrew its pots and the root system was just totally root bound. And look at the calendula. Is that not the cutest thing? I don't know why these are so short. I'm not even sure if they're supposed to be short or not, but look, it's sending out some new buds, side buds right there. Oh, the color is so pretty. Yeah, so this is, oh yes, and guess what? I have started some zinnias in trays, and you can see they're starting to pop up. I better make sure I water them so they don't dry out here, because the greenhouse gets pretty hot on sunny days. But yes, you can see little seedlings coming up. It's right here, one here, one here. Oh, there's some over here too. It's only been a few days. These germinate quite fast. I think it would be perfect timing. In about 3 weeks, we should be in our last frost date. I should be able to start planting things straight into the garden or outside. These are the tulips I wanted to show. So I planted hundreds of tulips last fall, and these are some that have bloomed. Look at that other one over there. I think this is the pink one right there. I think it's a parrot variety. I forget what other names these. I typically don't go for oranges, but I have been watching a lot of videos of other gardeners who have used orange with magenta, pink, and it really shows really well. So I thought I'd give it a stab and also try that in my garden. And you know what? I do like the orange in the garden. Even though orange is not my favorite color, but it does look quite pretty in the garden. And here's more forget-me-nots. And then more of that pink parrot tulips. So there's a whole bunch of tulips here. They're starting to come up, but they have not bloomed yet. And I got my Globemaster allium here that's forming a flower buds right now. I actually don't mind the leaves of this variety. I have the other variety, I forget what they are, but they get pretty messy. This one here, look at all the leaves, and the slugs and the snails love munching on those. Let's go over here. All my roses are leafing out nicely. This one's a new one that I just put in. Blue Girl, she's doing really good. Oh, I just put in Lady of Shalott right there. David Austin one. And she is not looking very healthy. When I bought her, she had all green stems. Now they have died back pretty much halfway down, and it's not looking healthy. I hope she's not going to die on me. Good thing they have a 1 year or 1 season warranty on these, so if she does die, hopefully I'll be able to bring her back and get another one if they still have one available. And look at this pink parrot variety. Isn't that so pretty? And look at this orange one. Really pretty. And there's a whole bunch of them over here. Look, I took a risk and planted out my snapdragons really early in this pot, and it is blooming, and it is seems to be doing okay despite the cold weather we've had so far. I can tell though, the peonies, the leaves here curling like this, it did not like the cold, but I think it should do fine. All my roses are leafing out really nicely, super happy about that. Oh, my bleeding heart's right there. She's in bloom, see that? She's starting to put out a whole bunch of flower buds right here. Those should be blooming in about a week or two. Roses, look at that. Ah, so happy to see them flush out with new growth. I started a whole bunch of catmint. This is being one of them. I think I had 11 or 12, and they've grown so big that I had no choice but put them into the garden. And so far, there's one there, there's a whole bunch there. So far they're doing really well despite the cold weather. So I crossed my fingers that they will survive the next 2-3 days because we're dipping pretty low. The reason I've decided to put more catmint in my garden is because I've watched other gardeners combine catmints with their roses, and I just absolutely love that look. So I really wanted to achieve the same look. I find it's very pleasing and very restful for the eyes to have purple with roses. It's just my personal taste, but yes, it's something I'm really looking forward to seeing in my garden this year. Look, it's my spirea. The growth, look at the color. It looks like it's on fire. Pretty crazy. Last year, I believe it had light greenish color. This year, it's reddish, orange, bright red. And my 9 bark, I was right. It did survive the winter. It just took a while to wake up. Look, new buds. Super happy. Another 9 bark here. I'm still keeping my eyes out for my hydrangeas, if they have survived the winter or not. I think this one did. I think this one is a limelight punch. See new growth right there. But my bobos, I don't see anything just yet. This is a bobo. Over here is another bobo. Really hope they survived. I did store one in my garage, so if I lose these two, I still have one more in my pots in the front of the house. I did do some experiment. If I had the same variety of a certain plant, I would store one in the garage and then 1 or 2 outside, just to test it out to see how well they would do in my climate. And so far, the survival rate outside has been pleasantly, surprisingly, they've done very well. Got a whole bunch of lilies here. Lily bulbs that I started indoors, that I planted into bigger pots out here. They're starting to come up. I believe this is a peony that I dug from the front and planted here. Last year it did almost nothing. This year though, it looks like it's put it on a lot of new growth. I don't know if it's gonna flower, to be honest, because I have read that once you transplant them, they may not flower for several years after. So we shall see. So that's my garden in April, end of April. I hope in a few weeks time, I'll do another video to give you an update, and I think it should look quite different by then. More growth, more tulips hopefully, because they're all kind of poking out here, but they just haven't really bloomed yet. But yes, thank you so much for joining me today, and hope to see you in my next video. Bye.